that she, at the climax of the movie, that she was killing the people who were created to help her. Today, I want to kind of fashion the message around Captain Marvel because many of the believers in the room, without knowing it, have been self-sabotaging themselves because of thoughts that were planted in their mind.
Amen. All right. Amen.
And I came to help some of us get free from some of the thoughts that the enemy has been putting in our minds, because just like Captain Marvel, many of us are fighting and we have great power, but we're fighting in the wrong direction. So let's redirect today. Amen? Amen. 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 Y'all looking for a text? I got you. Matthew chapter 13. Jayla, these people like, you're going to have to talk Bible to me. I got them. I'm going to do the Bible thing. I needed to set myself up. You know what I mean? Matthew chapter 13. David, it's good to see you. Verse 26. Should I call you Dr. Anderson yet? Not yet. You found it. Do me a favor. I'm not going to ask you to stand up and all of that stuff. Do me a favor. Just say word. But when the blade was sprung up, when I finally started to see some results, just when I thought I finally made 2 steps forward, when I finally thought, Brittany, I was about to get free, when I finally thought my faith was about to produce something big for me, I could see the hand of God just when I could see God doing what he promised me. Watch what the Bible says. And brought forth fruit. Then appeared. I don't know who this is for, but I don't even know where this attack came from. I don't even know where this assault came from. Have you ever been in a position where you thought life was on the upswing, and just as you were moving forward on the swing, the enemy came in and it seemed like he knocked you back to square one? Amen. Oh man, the scripture says, then appeared a tear. Yeah. Also, today I want to preach from this subject. I'm destined. I'm devoted. But I see destruction. I'm destined. Somebody say I'm destined. I know I got purpose in me. I know you got purpose in you. You got greatness written all over you. You are destined for great stuff. You are destined to be above and not beneath. You are already made and shaped and formed to be destined for greatness. I know I'm destined. I got the power. I know I'm destined. And I know in this season of my life, I'm devoted. Because when y'all not around, I'm praying. I'm talking on behalf of somebody in here who this ain't a Sunday morning kind of thing. This is an everyday kind of relationship. And so while I'm driving down the street, you'll catch me in praise and worship. While I'm sitting at my desk, you'll catch me scrolling the scripture. While I'm in communion with my family, I'm praying for them. I'm walking past Cousin Pete like, Cousin Pete passed the potato salad. Lord, touch Cousin Pete right now. I'm devoted. It's not that I don't have a devotion for God, but you know there is something devastating about knowing you're destined and knowing you've been devoted, but feeling and seeing destruction. I want to talk to somebody in here who's frustrated in your spirit. Your mind is all jacked up because you know you're doing and going after the promise with everything you got, but you keep falling apart. Oh, Matthew 13, I got to speed it into the text. Matthew 13, starts off in verse 24, and it says to us that a man went out and planted good seed. Brendan, it's not that I didn't put good seed in me. Let's talk seed for a second. I know most of us, we associate seed with the word of God. We associate seed with money. In church, they tell you, you got some money, you got a seed. But I want to rephrase seed in this instance, and I want to change seed into mindset and thought life. All right. The word is a seed. It's supposed to produce a life, which is the fruit. It's not that I have not been studying or living on the Bible. It's not that I have not believed God. It's not that I sowed the right stuff. I know I sowed good seed. I know I sowed good seed. And when I sowed good seed, the Bible, can I read it to y'all? The Bible says, in another parable put forth he, verse 24, unto them saying, the kingdom of heaven is like a man which sows good seed in his field, but while he slept. I'm just walking the text, but it wasn't until I got comfortable. You know, it's something about it. See, when I started sowing the seed, when I started studying the scripture, I was on the fence. You came against me, you came against my God, and I was ready to war. But it wasn't, the enemy doesn't often attack Pastor Elliott when we're ready to war. He waits till we go to sleep.
Yes. Yeah.
He waits till you get comfortable. I got comfortable in this relationship. I got comfortable in this mindset. I got comfortable, and I felt like it, and I knew it was right, so I got comfortable in it. And the moment I got comfortable, Jayla, is the moment the enemy came in.
Yeah.
Like a flood.
Yeah.
Watch this. Brendan, it's not even that the enemy showed up while I was asleep. Watch this. Miss Abigail, watch this. But it's what the enemy put in me while I was asleep. See, Brittany, this text is saying that I didn't even know it, but the enemy was sowing weeds in my field. And you know, David, the interesting thing about seed is you can't see it until it's developed. So there are some of us in here who are living with weeds in our gardens, but we don't know how they got here. It's because while you were comfortable, the enemy was speaking in your ear. Has anybody, I wish I had some people in here who were mature enough in their faith to be able to be honest enough to say, I have believed the lie of the devil before.
Yes.
And it did not come unconvincingly. The devil's lie came with confidence. You understand me? And it came, watch this. Devil, can I teach these people? The devil, when he tell you a lie, he progresses in the lie. Most of us look for the devil to tell us, wake up and tell us you're going to get $1 million. That ain't how he does it. He starts telling you little lies first. Small lies. Because watch this, Brandon. Lies are seed too.
Right.
See, lies are seeds that are weeds, and truth is seed that is harvest, is that produce. And so watch this. The enemy starts telling us little lies. And if you're not careful, you'll water the lie more than you will the truth.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you'll wake up one morning and you'll try to figure out, how did I get so trapped in this place? Well, if you trace the lies back, you'll find the root of the weed. But you got to be careful. You got to be careful when you handle with weeds in your field. I said, can I give y'all my principles? I want you to get the whole message, okay? So I'm going to speak to the principles. Is that okay?
Come on, speak to it.
The first principle I need to give y'all is, you ready? Tammy, this was big for me. This was so big for me. I don't know if I'm really ready to share this.
Come on.
Delivering myself will destroy my destiny.
Is that a principle?
Yes, ma'am. Delivering myself will destroy my destiny. Watch what I'm saying here, bro. Watch this. Trying to get me out of a situation will only keep me more hurt. That's big, though. Because watch this. Most of us are trying to find an escape plan. But if you are trying to escape, then that means God can't get you out. So far too often, we're trying to get out of what God is trying to teach us in. Watch this, watch this. For my church school family, watch this. Christ, this was so good this morning. We were talking about the captivity of the children of Israel, and we were talking about how they were captive for 400 years. Watch this, Jay. Look, I never thought of this until this morning. It was so dope to me. We talk about the captivity. So my mom has a daycare, and she has all these little kids, and little kids tear up rooms. This is what I told them in church school. Fast. You understand me? They walk into a room, see a toy box. They don't play with the toys. They just pull them all out like this. And so in order to straighten a room, you often have to put them in a captive state. You have to put up gates to keep them in there so you can get the room prepared for the next play session. Watch this. Sometimes what we call captivity is God calling preparation.
All right.
See, he has to keep you out of it so he could prepare that area for it. Ooh. So while what you were calling a hell on earth, God was calling preparation for the next phase of your life.
Yes, yes.
But if you try to get out of what God put you in, let me say it like this. You do know you get in more trouble. Those children that's trying to get out the cage, let me not say the cage. The children that's trying to take down the gate. That make it better. Yeah. Those children often get in more trouble because they're trying to escape. Watch this. And what if some of the issues we have, some of the problems we encounter, are because we're trying to escape something God is trying to leave us in too soon? Watch this. Brandon, I don't even have the capability to deliver myself. Romans chapter 7, verse 24. Paul, the apostle to the Gentiles, he goes through all of this. When I would do good, evil is present with me, and I want to be free from sin, but I keep sinning. And he doesn't say, how can I be delivered? Watch this, verse 24, he says, who shall deliver me from this body of death? He says, I understand that I need a super God to get me out of this because I'm so far in it that he can't just give me a plan. He got to rescue me out of it. I wish I had somebody in here who was honest enough to say, you in so deep that I know if he gave me the plan, I wouldn't get out of it. But I need him to deliver me with his mighty hand. Yeah. The children of Israel didn't come out of Egypt with a plan. God came to Egypt and he started plaguing everything that was holding them bound until he got them free. God delivered them. They didn't come up with a strategy to be delivered. I need somebody in here to know you're hurting your own destiny because while you're in captivity, all you're trying to do is get free instead of letting him make you free. Because Brittany, if I can be honest, I know we got some church faces in the room, so I'm going to be very, very honest and transparent here. Some of my greatest wounds have been because I was trying to create my own freedom. I tried to make it myself. I tried to self-medicate myself to make myself feel better, only to know I ended up feeling worse. I was trying to make freedom. Have you ever tried to make your own freedom? Let me tell you, just do me a favor, just say stop. Stop looking for something or someone here to give you freedom and start looking up. Yeah. Can I borrow a line from India Ari? Y'all don't mind. I preach a t-shirt and jeans, so I might as well go on and do India, right? India said she went to South America and she saw a dude who was blind. He asked her what life was like in the USA, and she said, and all she did was complain. And in the song lyrics, she said, he said, here is living, he was blind, but he said, living here is paradise. She goes on to say, he taught me that paradise is in my mind. Yeah. I need some of us to know that some of the greatest days I've ever had, I was in the most captivity, under the most pressure, in the worst situations of my life. But because I felt something different, I felt something different. And when I felt something different, I experienced freedom. I need somebody in here to know that God doesn't need to change your feet to change your mind. All you got to do is look up instead of looking out, and you'll start to see, wait, hold on, it ain't as bad as it seems. The Apostle Paul, mama, he said, I think myself happy. You must learn and master the art. Jayla, I think you got this one down. It's to learn to master that what I experience is all based on how I think about what I'm experiencing. That's right. If you punch me, I have the ability to determine what that punch means and what my retaliation would look like. I know some of y'all like, punch me you want to. See you don't catch these hands. But there's another group of people in here who's a little more vindictive. Watch this. This just dropped in my spirit. I need to say this out loud to some of us. You punch me and I'm gonna nod you off. And then I'm going to bring all wrath I can find to land on your life.
Yeah.
Watch this. Because I attack based on my thought life. See, some of us, you hit us, we're going to hit you back. Some of us, you hit us, we start plotting. I know what kind of car they drive. I know what address they got. Y'all women gonna play me like that?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. You can't deliver yourself. The second principle I need to give you. Verse 20. Let me make sure I found it on scripture for you. Verse 29, we read it earlier. Brandon, it said, we didn't read it earlier. Verse 29 says, nay, but he said, the landmaster of this garden, Jasmine, where these tares were, the landmaster, the servant comes to him and says, hey man, we got these weeds growing up with the produce. What you want us to do with it? Brandon, the landmaster, verse 29 says, don't pull that up. Let them grow. And when it's grown up, we'll separate it at the harvest. The second principle I need to give you today is to do it till God's done. Do it until God is done. You know, Mama, I almost called you Mommy in front of these people. Mommy, one of the biggest tricks is the trick of the eye. It's a sleight of eye. So what we do is we focus so much on what we're doing wrong that we miss that if we keep doing it, there is some right in there that outweighs the wrong. But because we're trying so hard to fix the wrong in us, we miss so much of the right that we're doing. The reason why I'm telling you to keep doing it, because see, God will fix the wrong, but He can't make more right.
All right.
Watch this. Right is the result of obedience, just like wrong is the result of obedience. See, if you obey wrong, you produce wrong, right? You break the law, you broke the law. You had that law, right? But right is very simply obeyed, right? So many people in our world are so focused on trying to fix the wrong that they do that they're missing the fact you're doing a whole lot of stuff right. So keep doing what you're doing because it's working. Let God divide the wrong from the right in your life. Let God do that. Let God do that. And can I take the brakes off of me just for a second? And I'm so tired. Brother Spark, can I talk to you? I ain't talking to you all day. I'm tired of judgmental Christians. I'm tired of people who look down their nose and say they know God. Because the same God they say they know had a son named Jesus. And his son hung out with whores. Oh, y'all don't want to hear this kind of gospel, but it's the Bible. He hung out with people who the society casted out. If we found Jesus today, he would be hanging out at the homosexual's house. He would be hanging out at the AIDS ward. He would be hanging out downtown with the homeless people. But we got these new age Christians who put on such glamorous clothes and got such great makeup that they think that they can look down their nose at somebody. Fix your nose because you do wrong just like I do wrong because we all do wrong. Everybody in here's righteousness is but filthy rags. All of us have fallen and come short of the glory of God. So take the judgment off and keep doing what you're doing because God told me to tell you it's working.
Yeah.
I know you slipped up. I know you messed up. I know you had messed up. I know you did something you weren't supposed to do. I know you did something you said you would never do again. We're not tripping on that. But you've been praying more. You've been fasting more. You've been calling on God more. You've been worshiping more. Let's focus on what you're doing right.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because the truth is you're making a difference.
Yeah.
But the greatest differences are often the ones we don't notice until we get the results.
Yeah.
You hear what I said? The biggest differences we will ever make in life are the ones we do not know we've made until we get the results.
Right.
And there is a space of time where you've done what you were supposed to do and you don't see any results. where you have to trust God and believe that you did the best you could and he will reward you. Watch this. Brittany, I almost jumped on the chair, Brandon, because look at here. Watch this. God doesn't bless us based on our effort. He blesses us based on the condition of our heart. And when he blesses us based on the condition of my heart, that means I know I tried my best. I gave it my heart. And when I gave it my heart, he gonna bless me because he saw my heart, not my effort. So when other people are saying you're doing a horrible job, God is saying you're doing an amazing job because he sees your heart. Oh, dude, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Let me give you one more. I got two more, Tammy, just two more. The devastation of being devoted. There's devastation in being devoted just short of destiny. Devastation in being devoted just short of destiny. What does that mean? I heard you. You're like, dude, them is a whole lot of D words. What does that really mean? Here's what it means. It means there's nothing that hurts more than knowing you did the right thing and you stopped doing the right thing just short of where God purposed you to be. Watch this. Let me tell you a story. This dude in the Bible, his name was David, right? King David. Everybody knows King David. First prophet, priest, and king. Dude was the GOAT. He was the man. He was he had some sexual addictions. Don't trip on David. David was checking out Bathsheba, the first dude we had on record that went to the strip club because he looked over the balcony and saw Bathsheba taking that bath. And y'all pray for me because in my sanctified imagination, I believe Bathsheba was lathering the soap up just right and sliding through the pool just right on her good side. You understand? How she was showing off her ass as y'all can be play if y'all want to, whatever. And David was the man who God commissioned to build him a temple. You got to understand that before David, everybody lived in tents. They took this tent called the tabernacle and they moved it everywhere they went. Children of Israel packed it up and moved it. God said, I don't want to be moved anymore. I want a stationary place. And David, I'm going to give you the gift to build me a temple. Watch this. Brittany, David collected all the gifts, all of the stuff. He got all the material, the raw material to build it. And then he had a faith slip. He was devoted enough to get the material, but not devoted enough to build the temple. I want to talk to somebody in here to tell you, don't come out of hell to stop. If halfway is no longer good enough. Jayla, I refuse to have endured what I have endured only to get to this place. Right. There must be more to life than what we have experienced so far. But we must make a choice to not let the devastation we see distort or destroy or detour us from where God is taking us. Do me a favor, just so you can understand it, so your spirit can hear it. Faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. If we say it out loud, I believe our spirits will receive it. Can you do me a favor and shout out loud, no more detours? No more detours. I'm not taking no more detours. I'm not going a long way no more. Brother Spark, I have committed myself to obey God until I have the promise of God. And I won't quit until I got the promise. Lord, got any believers in this room who are so committed to, I'm chasing after it. Whatever it costs me, I'm going to get what God has for me. Because I didn't do all of that, go through all of that, been through all of that. I didn't cry all them nights. I wasn't as frustrated. I wasn't as devoted to come out of hell and only live in hell. No. Y'all, excuse me, I had another old school moment, Miss Abigail. I got heaven right here on earth. You understand? I believe that I can have it. Amen. So I refuse to die without it. Let me give y'all my last one so I can get out y'all here. Take your time. Come on. Dividing is for the divine. What? Dividing is for the divine. 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 God divides. Yeah. Becky, can we talk?
I'm listening.
It's going to get kind of real though.
I'm ready.
It's a lot of people think they know you. They think they know what you've done and what you've been through. But they have no idea the good that you've contributed. Because they have assigned a meaning to your life because of what they thought they knew about you. But I want to tell you today, you don't have to defend your own name.
All right.
Because the same God who delivers is the same one who will make the good outweigh the bad at the end of your life.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? There's some people who think they know what you done, and they done gave you a title because of what you done, but they have no idea the good that is in you and that you have done. But I serve a God, Brandon, who has this reckoning scale that at the end of life, he's the one who gives the reckoning and not man.
Yes.
Romans, they're going to hear me in a second, Mama. Romans chapter 12. Romans chapter 12. I just want you to turn here real fast. I promise you, we really going to go home. I feel like fried chicken is about to be my portion. You understand me? Glory to God. Glory to God. I can't wait to sit down at the table today. Hallelujah, where the feast is spread. Bless his name. Romans chapter 12, verse 21. Just before we get out of here. Romans 12 and 21. Romans 12 and 21. Watch this, David. I saw this scripture, and it brought tears to my eyes. Because I thought that I had done, I know it's some perfect people, but I thought I had done so much wrong, Brandon, I disqualified myself. You see, they start feeding the homeless. But Brandon, I'm with me all the time. So while other people are talking about feeding the homeless, I know how really bad I am on the inside. I know how evil I know y'all want to play front with me, but you can pastor God's people and be messed up on the inside. And my heart don't always think the right stuff. Sometimes my jokes go too far.
Amen.
Oh, y'all be out here fronting and praying with me. It's a couple y'all should have laughed. Catch that if you want to. And so in my mind, watch this, Bryce, I thought that at the end of my life, God would uncover all of my wrong to everybody. And though they knew I did good stuff, they would only label me by the wrong God uncovered that's in here. Does that make sense to you? But I found in Romans 12, verse 21, the Bible says something here, Brandon. It says, be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good.
Yeah.
Watch this. That tells me, that gives me room to argue that good wins over evil every time.
Yes.
I just have to stick with the good long enough for it to win.
Yes.
You see, let me say it like this, and then we can go home. Watch this, I'm closing my stuff. Don't trip. I need to say it like this, though. Too many people have made judgment calls at halftime.
Oh, yeah.
And I live in Indianapolis, and people are fickle sports fans. I'm included in that number. I'm just being honest. I will switch on you if it looks like I'm going to look. I went in. I went in a Golden State fan. I came out a Toronto fan. Watch this. So many people make judgment calls on what evil and good will do in their life at halftime. Just short of a victory. You have to be careful writing the end of your story before the book is closed.
Come on.
Because see, at the end of the story, you do know watch this. Every story can change at the end of a sentence. And as long as there's sentences on the clock, then that means the story can still shift. And your good still has the ability to win out over your evil. But you must keep and stay with good long enough for good to win. That's the last I got for you. That's my good stuff. That's the end of what I got. That's the best I got. But I need some of us to watch this. I said it was the end. I'm a Baptist preacher. My second close. Say 6.5, Crenshaw. Every Marvel character, almost everyone, has a dark side. Ain't that right, Brother Jason? They flipped. Almost every Marvel character is a common thread in the Marvel comic series. For every superhero who does extraordinary good, ain't that right, Brother Spark? They have a period of time where they do extraordinary evil. Watch this. We celebrate Captain Marvel for the great she did, but she killed some of the people who was trying to help her. And if we stop at the people she killed, then we'll miss the fact that she changed the world. Keep doing good. And let the evil take care of itself. I'm back at my first principle, Brittany. You can't deliver yourself from drugs. God does. You can't get yourself out of that bad relationship. God does. You can't break the shackle of mindsets that them people told you when they told you wasn't going to be nothing and be nobody. You can't break that. God does. And what you do is you spend your time doing good. And while you're doing good, watch God break it. I'm going to say it again. While you're doing good, while you're focusing on being a better person, while you're focusing on giving and loving other people, and I'm not talking about this giving, I'm talking about giving your life to other people. When I'm talking about sharing your story and encouraging people and loving on people and telling them they can make it. While you're doing all of that, watch God fix your evil. Amen? Amen. Amen. Jesus is God's son. It's not a fairy tale, it's not a fable. It actually happened on Calvary's hill. Jesus died. He died a gruesome death. It was our sin that made his suffering necessary. Jesus did not stay dead. What makes us Christians is that we believe that Jesus rose again. The Bible tells us that if we believe that death, burial, and resurrection, that we can be saved. Water doesn't save you. Some people gonna not like me, but speaking in tongues don't save you. Because I know some tongue-talking devils. You understand? But a belief in your heart and a confession with your mouth is what makes you be saved. If you are in the room and you like, little dude, I just want to be saved. Yes. You can be saved today. That's right.